Next on KCAU, what new mask mandates mean for a return to normal.
If you're vaccinated, you can do more things.
Business is on the rebound, but where are all the workers?
And grilled on Capitol Hill, big tech companies answered questions about social media algorithms. KCAU 9 News at 10 starts now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
Good Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Sophie Erber. At the height of the pandemic, many Siouxland businesses wondered if they'd be able to even bounce back from COVID-19 restrictions.
And now that some restrictions are beginning to be relaxed, many of those same businesses have the same concern, but for a different reason.
KCAU 9 News reporter Lydia Vasquez explains what some Siouxland businesses are calling the new struggle in our top story at 10.
Tim and Sophie, there are thousands of people in Siouxland who are out of work, but still some Siouxland businesses I spoke with say they can't find workers to fill their jobs. They say it's just the latest challenge brought on by the pandemic. Sam's Mini Mart is open for business, but there's not enough people to run it.
We have a shortage of people. The managers, the co-workers, we have to work extra hours. It's just a strain on all of us right now.
Stevie Ford is the store's manager. He says since the pandemic, it's been increasingly difficult to hire people and keep them.
I've had several people come in here and say, why work when I don't have to? When unemployment's going to pay me X amount of money, my stimulus check's coming up.
That's why Ford says they've tried to attract people with higher pay.
We upped our wages, our starting wages, and nothing seems like it works.
Sam's Mini Mart isn't the only business struggling. The Iowa Restaurant Association says staffing is down about 20%. The industry itself lost around 25,000 jobs in Iowa, and right here in Siouxland, some restaurants are feeling the pressure.
At one point, we were down to 2 servers. The last couple months, it was me, my assistant manager, and 2 servers that we were working every shift.
John Sexton is a manager at Rebo's restaurant. He says he's had to limit seating to not overwhelm staff.
A lot of it is having the staff to make sure that our service is 100% on par. When you have too many customers versus not enough servers, that definitely impacts the service that we want to provide for our customers, and that's definitely an impact on the business.
Sexton says a shortage of workers forces him to work in the business instead of on the business. The manager at Sam's Mini Mart says they're still looking for part-time and full-time workers. At Rebo's, they've added on several new employees in recent weeks, but they're still looking for more hires. Lydia Vasquez, KCAU 9 News.
Now, if you're looking for a job here in Siouxland, we've got some help for you. It's a pretty handy tool. It's called Sioux City Jobs. Just visit SiouxlandProud.com anytime and click on the Jobs tab. You'll find the information you need right there.
The CDC is updating its guidance tonight for mask wearing for both those who have been vaccinated and for those who have not yet. The CDC says fully vaccinated Americans do not need to wear a mask outdoors anymore unless they're in a big crowd of strangers. Regardless of vaccination status, people are no longer asked to wear masks while walking, biking, or running outside. Previously, the agency advised people to don face coverings when they're outdoors within 6 feet of other people.
So for those who haven't gotten their vaccination yet, especially if you're younger or think you don't need it, this is another great reason to go get vaccinated now.
Doctors say if you are not fully vaccinated, you still are safe to go outside without a mask, but they do recommend wearing your mask while you're dining outdoors or if you're around other unvaccinated people.
The Iowa House Judiciary Committee has advanced a bill that would ban COVID-19 vaccine passports in the state. That means that state and local government would not be able to require people to have identification that shows they have received a COVID-19 vaccine. The same would apply to businesses and nonprofits, but does not keep them from having a COVID-19 screening process. Healthcare facilities, however, would be able to require proof of vaccination for the staff.
A bill waiting in the Iowa Senate tonight would allow parents to teach their kids driver's education, foregoing the school-offered or private driving lessons. Now, if it becomes a law, all Iowa parents would be able to teach their kids how to drive, not just homeschooling families who are currently permitted by law. However, Iowa parents would still be required to follow the basic driver's education course. with just a few changes, including not requiring a brake pedal on the passenger side. One driving instructor is also worried about parents not being certified instructors.
You're going to have parents that are showing drivers or their kids bad habits. We already see it when the kids are in our cars for an hour or so. They're doing things that we know that the parents have taught them, or that they've said that the parents have taught them, that we already have to correct.
And those in favor of the bill argue it could help families save on the cost of these formal instruction courses.
Big tech companies were back on Capitol Hill to answer questions about social media algorithms, which impact what users see, read, and think. Social media giants Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube faced senators on how social media algorithms could be dividing the country. Dr. Joan Donovan from Harvard University compares misinformation to secondhand smoke and says that social media amplifies the message. Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley argues the company's algorithms silence conservative viewpoints.
I constantly hear from Iowans about their concerns with control that big tech has over the discourse in this country, as well as the biases that these platforms have against conservative voices in middle America.
I do hear questions from both sides of the aisle, if you will, about whether or not we are fair in our content policy enforcement, but I can tell you that we enforce our policies without regard to political ideology.
While much of the questioning focused on the impact of misinformation, some senators say they're still concerned about the way big tech companies hurt their competitors and that one company should not have all the influence. Democrats are preparing a series of antitrust bills to tackle algorithms and dominance of tech companies.
The Department of Homeland Security is once again delaying the requirement for Real ID compliant forms of identification. That deadline, which was set for October 1st of this year, would have required travelers over the age of 18 to have a more secure form of ID than currently is required. Now, only 43% of U.S. issued driver's licenses are, quote, Real ID compliant. The Department of Health and Homeland Security says the delay is due to the lack of state compliance caused in part by the pandemic. Although Congress did approve new rules in 2005, several states didn't begin to issue those Real IDs to their residents until many years later.
Well, Siouxlanders were out in force once again today. Not a big surprise to us, but they're again pitching in on our 7th annual Stuff the Stroller Drive.
That's right, collecting all kinds of baby items for the Crittenden Center in partnership with Siouxland OBGYN. And today we were out at the Hy-Vee on Sargent Road in Sioux City, where the Director of Child Care Services spoke with us and told us there that donations mean more than the community can know.
Every family, especially that we've seen through COVID, every family has gone through some sort of crisis or some sort of trauma or some unexpected expense, and to be able to have some items that we can use to support families, like baby food, formula, diapers, wipes, that kind of thing, is essential for those moments so families can focus on what they're doing rather than just the things that they're going through.
Next Tuesday, we will be at the Hy-Vee location on Hamilton Drive in Sioux City. That is for the 4th and final week of our campaign. We really did have a fantastic showing today, and maybe our good weather helped. It wasn't as warm as yesterday, Tim, but
yeah, it was still
nice.
Decent outside. Very easy to get around, obviously. No wind to battle today,
Right.
That's for sure, Scott.
Yeah, not much of a breeze out there. We've missed out on the showers, too, to this point, at least in Sioux City. We're getting a live look outside on the Wayne State College camera in northeast Nebraska. Things are still rather peaceful, but we do expect to see a few showers and thunderstorms occur through the overnight period as we go into Wednesday. Here's what's happening now in Sioux City. Our temperature is reported at 52 outside, with the wind blowing in from the north at 13 miles per hour. Relative humidity is now at 80%, and the dew point is at 46. You can see the temperatures have cooled off significantly versus the same time last night. It is just 52 outside in Sioux City, 48 in Sioux Falls, now 49 degrees in Valentine. Still hanging on to some of that heat as you approach Illinois and eastern parts of the state of Iowa. Right now it is 77 degrees in Davenport and 72 in Peoria. Tightening the focus here towards Siouxland, you can find that it's cooler to the north, just 46 in Esterville, 50 degrees now in Storm Lake. It's currently 55 in Tacoma, 53 in Norfolk, Nebraska. Here's a look at that 24-hour temperature difference outside. You can see that it's currently 16 degrees chillier than the same time last night in Sioux City. Won't become cold enough tonight that you're going to have to turn on the furnace, I don't think, but it does look like a little bit chillier than what we experienced again on.
This is KCAU 9 News.
Among the many brave men and women that risk their life fighting for our freedom, Brent Holman is one of the most fearless people out there.
KCAU 9 News reporter Mallory Smith gives us a closer look at his journey as a soldier in this week's edition of Veterans Voices.
Holman says when it comes to the Army, the gains outweigh the losses, and that he would do it all over again if he had the opportunity. Brent Holman joined the Army in '97 and retired in 2009.
We are the first ones in, the last ones out. We're the ones that kick down the doors and go through the house and looking for the bad guys. We're the ones taking the fight to the enemy. Our job is to catch the bad guys.
As a member of the infantry, he engaged in close-range combat, a job that's physically demanding and psychologically stressful. Holman says he loved every second of it, but things changed July of 2007.
First thing I remember is just seeing a bright light and then pain.
While on a tour in Benghazi, a bomb went off next to Holman and one of his men.
I remember the pain. I yelled 3 times and I turned on the light that was inside the turret and looked over at my gunner, and his face was white like a ghost. Knew something serious was going on. And
he suffered an eye injury and every bone in his hand was shattered. He says he recalls looking down and seeing bones hanging out of his forearm.
All my bones in my hand are fused. They're all fused together. I have severe nerve damage. My ulnar nerve is gone. My right hand is always numb. My frontal lobe is completely smashed, flattened pretty much.
Due to the significance of his injuries, he was no longer allowed to serve in the United States Army.
It was very hard. I still miss it till today. I mean, the bond that you create with you guys. I was in charge of soldiers, and I had a lot of responsibilities, and I was important.
But he uses each day to inspire others and help people come out of dark places.
It's more than your injuries. You can choose whatever you want, but your injuries do not define who you are. It's what you want, and if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to do it.
Holman is now married with 2 children and is a professional fisherman. He says he credits his children for, in many ways, saving his life. For Veterans Voices, Mallory Smith, KCAU 9 News.
We thank him for his service. KCAU 9 News is proud to tell these stories of Siouxland veterans every Tuesday here at 10 and also at Wednesday at midday.
And nominations are always open, so if you know of a veteran with a story to share, we'd sure like to hear it. You can just send us a message at veteransvoices@kcautv.com.
The Sioux City Arts Center resuming its fundraising efforts after nearly a 2-year pause. The Arts Center says that they held back on fundraising to give space to agencies that needed emergency funds. Now the center has a so-called Week of Delights plan to help kickstart their fundraising efforts.
Just like I know that this community, the whole country, the whole world is ready to kind of burst out, we're right there with them. And so this is our first moment in, since February of last year, when we've had a really big group experience planned.
It all starts May 1st, and every day is themed around a different sense. We do have more on the events planned currently on our website. That's, of course, at the address on your screen or the KCAU 9 mobile news app.
Sounds interesting.
It does.
Check that one out. Sports is up next. Jacob is in for Jake tonight, and I'm guessing it was a great night for a soccer match.
Absolutely.
It was a little windy out there, but it was a great rivalry match out at North tonight. The North Stars battling the East Black Raiders. I'm going to have the highlights from that windy matchup coming up after the break.
We're in, we're out, we're back on the road. Let's go. Here we go. Pick them up, put them down. Get on in there, get a snack, go to the bathroom. Everybody goes to the bathroom. Just make sure the cat goes to the bathroom. We are not stopping anywhere else. The youth will go to the bathroom. Wait, who's that guy? When do we pick him up? All right.
At Wild Rose Casino and Resort, winning is all we know. We've got what you want: tables, slots, and sports in our DraftKings Sportsbook. And make those wins even better when you play with your Club Wild card. Earn free play, free meals, free stays, and more. Winners wanted. at Wild Rose Casino and Resort. You'd rather be here.
What kind of beef do the best steakhouses serve? Meet the facts. Fact: the best steakhouses serve prime beef, and Hy-Vee has prime reserve beef. So you can get steakhouse quality right in your own backyard from Hy-Vee. If you want to know who's passionate about prime beef, get the facts at meetthefacts.hyvee.com.
Transform your home's exterior with simple updates from Menards. Larson Storm Doors and Windows let in the fresh air and help you save on your energy costs. Plus, they protect your home from wind and storm damage with available features like screen-away technology, click and hold closing systems, and high-performance low-E insulated glass. Save 11% off our entire selection of Larson Storm Doors and Windows at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors, and clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors, stewards of your dollars and savings. Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy,
Behind your everyday.
and we are
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
Here you go. Thanks. No problem.
You guys, stop yelling.
For a quick glimpse of the weather forecast, look to the KCAU 9 weather ball above the Ho Chunk Center in downtown Sioux City.
Now, KCAU 9 Sports.
Welcome back. The Iowa high school soccer season is in full swing, and the Missouri River Conference has been competitive so far. And tonight, two Sioux City schools clashed as North and East duked it out. Both teams looking to get another win under their belts. East looking to score early. Jacob Schroeder with the chance in front of the net, but George Gilbertson sliding in there to break up the scoring chance, and that's going to keep things scoreless. Midway through the first, North puts the ball in the box, but then a foul inside the box leads to a PK, and Gadisa Bezune drills it home. North goes up 1-0 at the halftime break. Second half, North with it again. Henry Morales splitting the defense, and then he's going to beat the keeper short side. North goes up by 2. They would just keep on scoring in this one. Stars win it 6-2. Speaking of soccer, the Iowa women's soccer team has had a heck of a postseason run. They've ended the regular season with just 2 wins on the whole year, and then they followed it up by tearing through the Big Ten tournament to win the conference. Now they look to keep the run alive going into the NCAA tournament against Campbell. Iowa Hawkeyes looking for just their 7th win on the year, and in the first half, off the corner kick, Samantha Carey, she is going to get it. It's going to bounce around to Sarah Wheaton, and Wheaton just gets a touch, puts it in. The Hawkeyes, they go up 1-0. And as the game went on, Iowa just kept the Fighting Camels from coming close to scoring. Some big saves by the keeper, and they held on to secure their first ever NCAA tournament win, 1-0 the final.
We've been working on set pieces a lot the past couple of months, and we haven't gotten a goal off a set piece yet, so that's something that was critical for us. And, you know, all of the runs in front of me did their job and took the space near post, and I kind of had an open shot, so I just took a touch and hit it.
We talked a lot about, you know, 2 weekends in a row trying to make history in our program, and we just talked about creating a foundation for others who are going to wear this jersey, and an expectation and standard that what is expected of them at the University of Iowa, and specifically in the soccer program. But this is a shout out for those who played at the University of Iowa and wore this jersey, and we know they're very proud.
The NAI volleyball tournament has officially begun in Sioux City. 24 teams from across the country have traveled to the Tyson Event Center to compete for a national title. Dordt and Northwestern, both in those top 24. But let's start off with Northwestern. Northwestern taking on Oklahoma City. Red Raiders, they get off to a good start. Anna Wadle, she gets the kill to give them an early 7-3 lead. But Oklahoma City just kept hanging around. Caitlin Vargas, she splits the defense to get the kill to tie the first set up. Raiders, though, taking back the lead. AJ Kakmarinsky, the huge block, and once again, Northwestern goes up by 3. But the Stars just would not quit. Lacey Beeler gets the block here. It's going to kickstart a run as the Stars win set number 1. Set 2, Raiders, they come out strong again. Wadle with the block gets her team the early lead once again in the set, but this time they keep it strong all set long. Emily Van Ginkel and Mackenzie Fink combining on the block there as the Raiders take set 2. This match would go the distance, but it is a Northwestern that comes out on top in the 5th and final set. Later on in the day, Dordt battled Bellevue. The first set started strong for the defenders. Allie Timmermans with the putback block here. Dordt jumps out to a 12-9 lead, and Allie Timmermans was on a roll in the first set. Check this out. That ball is just barely going to sneak in. Makes it 18-14, and they just kept on rolling. Brenna Kromendijk, she gets the huge kill here to put the defenders a point away from winning the set. The other Timmermans, Karina, she ends it with a huge kill. Dordt takes set number 1. Set number 2 was all Bellevue. Corey Lipovsky, she is going to get the block here. Bellevue cruised to a win in the second set, just like the game before it. This one went the distance, but it was Dordt that pulled out the win in 5 sets. Lots more action on the way tomorrow. Dordt and Northwestern, they are both gunning for a spot in the knockout rounds. They've got games tomorrow.
Pool play then tomorrow, right?
Yeah, pool play is going to be over, and then it goes into the single elimination.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Jacob.
We check in for one final forecast. First is take you outside right now here in Siouxland.
Well, one of the country's best supermarkets can be found right here in the state of Iowa.
That's right, it can. And, drumroll everybody, it's Hy-Vee. They ranked as the second best grocery retailer in the nation by USA Today. It has more than 275 stores. This across its 8-state region, with 40 more in the pipeline coming online this year. The only one to beat it out was Fresh Market, based out of South Carolina. Now, I've never been to a Fresh Market, but
I haven't either.
Yeah. I wonder how it compares to Hy-Vee. Every grocery store is really so different.
Yeah, it's very true. But been around a long time. They continue to grow, so congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we're checking out the radar here. It shows that we have some showers that are on the move into Siouxland from southwest to northeast, and also a few stronger storms down near I-80. It looks like those will slide into the area, mainly south of Sioux City, as we proceed through the overnight. 20% chance of some ongoing showers tomorrow. It'll be another cloudy day with a high temperature in the mid-60s, becoming warmer and nice for the weekend, 70s and 80s to enjoy.
Look at that. Thanks, Scott, and thank you for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your evening.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.